Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Jarrell Solis, the founder and owner of Confidence Pest Control, coming to you from the front porch. I had made a video in my truck, but for whatever reason, the audio wasn't working, so I decided to set up right here because, to be honest, it feels really, really good, especially for being in Central Texas in the month of July. It's never feels as good, so figured I'd take advantage of it. But today I wanted to talk to you about some of the things that are working for me, some of the things that I want to give some advice on what to do, maybe not to do, and let you know how it's going. To be honest, I said I wanted to create more videos, uh, and I'm working on that. I promise you, but I have been fortunately staying busy. There's always something to do. Um, so with that all being said, let's just jump right into it and talk about reviews. Uh, I think one of the best things you can do as a business owner, as a business, especially a service company like Pest Control, is just get reviews, 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 because in the world that we live in, people are going to be, as they're shopping, and when they look something up, the first thing that they do is look at the reviews. They want to make sure that other people are satisfied with whatever it is that they're getting, whether it's buying something, going somewhere to eat, or even pest control. You want to have solid reviews so that people are saying great things about you, which will in turn help you earn some other business. That's what I do. In the very beginning, before the business had even really started, and I had even done any services, I reached out to family and friends. I'm also fortunate enough. I volunteer, and I coach my son's t-ball team, and I coach in flag football. So I was able to reach out with a pretty solid network and say, hey, I'm starting my own business. I'm trying to get reviews, and obviously I don't want to be lying, and I don't want you to lie. I'm not asking for fake reviews or nothing like that, but can you do me a favor and leave me a character review? That way, if people look at it, and we're not saying that I've done the service, but they're saying, hey, Jarrell himself as a character. And I was able to get, a few reviews like that. And then once I started actually doing the services, before I leave the home, I talk to the customer, and I've already built a great relationship. I'm not, don't ask for reviews if you're not doing a good service. But I take a lot of pride in the services that I do. So I do a great service, and then I, you know, I build a relationship with the customer, throughout from the time that they reach out or whenever I knock on the door, whatever the case is, I build a relationship with them, and so that when the time comes, hopefully they have nothing but good things to say about me. And in my experience, in my 3 full months of experience, is doing me a lot of good. I'm not ranking as one of the top businesses, but I'm doing pretty well. I've got more reviews than a lot of the other companies that have been open for business. For 3 or 5 or however many years, and so 3 months and to the amount of reviews that I've gotten, which at the moment I think is like 20, which isn't much, but you can see that I'm actively trying where other people aren't, and yeah, I really want you got to separate yourself from everybody else. So that's one of the ways that I'm doing it. And then two, hand in hand with that, when people are looking at reviews, now they reach out to you. You want to be able to answer the phone, and you want to be able to respond to messages, in a timely manner, because we live in a fast world. If you don't answer and you don't get back, within a minute or two, they're already looking at the next pest control company to call out because they have an issue. You didn't answer, so they're going to go to the next person with the next best reviews. Hopefully they answer, and they're just going to keep going. Oh, I'm the bug guy, and you just see something flying around me. Well, at least I heard it in my ear, but that's gonna make for a little funny part of the video. Um, but no, like I was saying, they're going to be looking for reviews and people who are going to answer. So answer the phone. When you do it, be polite. People are going to match that energy. I called other pest control companies, and it was, some of the answers that I got were, hello. You wouldn't even know that you were calling a company, or a business. That all they said was hello, or you know, John Smith's Pest Control Company. Not very jovial, not very exciting. It's like, okay, well, who you know would you want to talk to anybody like that? So I make sure to sound a little bit more upbeat. So I'm confident, I'm thankful for every phone call that comes in, and I like to sound like it whenever I do answer. You don't want to pretend, but I'm genuinely excited because I have an opportunity right now to get a new customer, and which in turn is going to help me and my family. So you got to think of it in these ways. If you miss out on the customer, somebody else is going to get it, and you're just you're taking food off, you're taking bread off the table. So be aware of all that. And then when you do answer, and they have an issue, don't just, in my word of advice is, don't just say, when they because they're gonna call and they're gonna ask you, I'd like to get a quote. That's what I'm getting all the time. I'd like to get a quote. And some of them are price shoppers. And so if it's not the lowest price, they'll go somewhere else. But then some of them just want to make sure that their money is being well spent. And so if you say, John Smith's Pest Control, and they say, I want to quote, we'll do a $150 initial, and then we'll do a $45, monthly, a monthly billing. Well, they say okay, and then they hang up. You just lost that customer. Chances are you probably just lost that customer. But what I do is, you know, as soon as they call, and I'm empathetic, I answer the phone call. I talk to them. I ask questions. What kind of issues are you seeing? If they say, something like, because right now here we're getting scorpions really bad. Say, oh no, that's obviously not something anybody wants to have to deal with. Especially if they've got pets or children. You don't want to have to worry about getting stung by a scorpion. So, and me being a father of three, I can empathize with that. I understand. I don't want that. My wife doesn't want that. So, we by understanding and building that bridge and that connection with them, you're helping establish that relationship with them. But then you build value with your customer. Then you say, okay, so I like to get a quote. And before you go off and say, again, 150, 45, whatever your prices are, you know, build the value. So I say, well, see, this is what we're going to do, and I tell them we're going to come out and inspect. We're going to do a thorough dewebbing of the home. We're going to dust your cracks and crevices, your weep holes. We're going to treat the exterior, the foundation, all your entryways with a solid, with a really good liquid application. We're going to put a barrier around your home, and I tailor every service to the home. And so, if they've got some mulch, maybe I'm going to go put a little bit of granules somewhere in some of these areas. I might bait. I'm going to walk the perimeter, make sure that there's nothing along the fence line. You really build up. I mean, because that's what I do. And so I let them know what I'm going to do. I'm building that value. And so I tell them what I'm going to do. And they're usually, oh, that sounds great. And I say, all right, and it's going to be $150 for the initial, and 35 or $45, $55, however much it's going to be, depending. I base my pricing on depending on the size of the home. We say, it's going to be 150 and 45, and they're going to say, oh, I mean, a lot of times, I mean, in my experience so far, they're typically pretty excited, because hey, you're getting a premium service, at a competitive price. Whether it's a really high or low, whatever, well, however your pricing is, but now you've built that value, so they understand, hey, I'm getting all this for only this, and hey, you get that customer. And then lastly is, you deliver on that. If you pride yourself on being on time, being friendly, and doing a thorough service, don't show up 30 minutes late, untucked, and with a scowl on your face. And then yeah, you inspected the home, but make sure you're de-webbing, make sure you're doing everything that you told that person you were going to do. You do that on the service and every service, and make sure that once you get to a point where you're having technicians, or if you do have technicians, that they're doing it that way. Because you know that's how not only how you get customers, but how you keep customers, by consistently delivering on your promises, or even over delivering. So those are the things that I think you need to do: is get reviews, answer the phone, answer messages timely, and when you do, you know be excited about it, because these customers, I mean, at the end of the day, this is exactly what you wanted. You wanted a business. You wanted the phone to ring. You wanted those messages to come in. So don't be upset or disgruntled whenever you are getting them. Take advantage of it. And for me, I look at every single customer interaction as another opportunity to really hone in on my skills. The other day, my wife heard me in the van. We were driving somewhere. We were in our van and we were driving, and she said, "You handled that really well." And the whole time in my head I was kicking myself. I said, man, I could have handled that so much better. But I'm going to keep working on it, and I recommend everybody do the same. We can always be better. I need to get better about the ums and the uhs whenever I make videos, but those things will come. It's and the knows. But I'm self-aware. I try to be, at least. And so, but like I said, answering the reviews, um, answering the phone calls, or getting reviews, excuse me, getting reviews, answering the messages and the phone calls in a good way, in a good way that you would want to work with somebody with, and then delivering on what you told them you would do. Build value, and I promise you, you do all that, and then at the very end, you ask for a review, you're gonna get it, and it's a never-ending cycle. Now somebody else is going to look, they're going to see the reviews, they're going to call, you're going to be able to work on your selling skills, you're going to be able to deliver, ask for a review, and it's just a never-ending cycle. So keep that up, keep that in mind, and just keep grinding. It's hard out here, it really is. I'm finishing 3 months, but it's picking up. I'm very, very fortunate, very blessed. I'm going to talk about, the importance of your network, of your family and friends. I'll do that one in the next video. But until then, thank you for watching. I don't want to keep these too long, but thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you found value in the words that I'm, trying to provide, and the advice that I'm trying to give. Um, if you do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hopefully you can join me on this journey, and I can join you on your journey, and I'd love to see you succeed. And let's go. Let's stay grinding, and more importantly, stay confident. Take care.